Today in our 2018 Volkswagen Golf GTI, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the EcoHitch Stealth 2-inch trailer hitch receiver. This is what our hitch is going to look like without a receiver tube on once we get our fascia back in place. You can see everything is completely hidden behind the bumper fascia, maintains a nice clean look, looks like it came right out of the factory. Now what I found is right here on this edge, where this feeds up into the receiver tube, it was hitting the fascia. If you push it up in there and pull it down enough times, it's going to end up wearing that out. So what I suggest doing is taking a utility knife and just kind of shaving it back a little bit at a time until you get it to slide in there without it snagging on it. We'll slide it up into place. We're ready to use it. We'll insert our bolt. Thread it into place, and then we'll torque it to the specifications and the instructions. This is what our hitch looks like with our receiver tube installed when we're ready to use it. As I mentioned before, our cross tube is completely hidden behind our bumper fascia. Our receiver tube is removable to maintain that nice clean look on the back of the vehicle when we're not using our hitch. It's going to give us a 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube opening, nice reinforced collar, give us a little extra stability on our receiver tube. It's going to have a matte black powder coat finish that's going to resist any rust or corrosion. Our hitch pin hole right here is 5/8 inch in diameter. Now the hitch pin and clip does not come with the hitch, however it can be found here at etrailer.com. Safety chain loops are right up here on the inside. It's going to be plate style and they're very small. I always recommend checking the owner's manual of the vehicle to make sure the vehicle can withstand that amount of weight. You're going to pick the lowest number between the vehicle and the hitch. Now let's give you a few measurements to help you in deciding on any hitch mount accessories you may need, such as a bike rack, ball mount, or cargo carrier. From the center of the hitch pin hole to the outermost part of the bumper is going to be about 1.5 inches. This number is important for any of your hitch mount accessories that may fold up against your vehicle. From the ground to the top innermost part of the receiver tube, it's going to be about 13.25 inches. Now let's show you how to get this installed. To start our installation, we're going to need 2 Torx head bits, a T25 and a T15. We're going to have 6 bolts along the bottom of the fascia we need to remove. One here. And these are plastic, so just be aware of that. There. And what we're going to do is these little square pieces, we're going to go back and we're going to pop those out. Just hold on to them because we will be reinstalling those. Inside of each wheel well, we're going to have 3 Torx head bits, or Torx head screws we need to remove. One here, we're going to have one here, and one here. We'll use the T25 Torx bit to get those out. Then pull back your wheel well liner. You're going to have 1 Torx head bolt that runs from your bottom of your bumper fascia up into your fender, and it's right here. The bolt's going to go right up in this corner right here. Next, go inside your hatch, and on each side, right behind your taillight, there's a little access tab. Pull that out like this. And on the back of your taillight, there's going to be this thing here. That's what holds your taillight in. We're just going to unscrew that. Once you get that out, we're going to gently pull back on our taillight. We're going to have some wiring that needs to be removed. We'll take a small screwdriver, this little red tab, take a small flathead, pull that tab up like that, and then we're going to push it down right here. Then we'll set our taillight aside. It's a good idea to have a second set of hands to help you do this. We're going to start on the very outside in our wheel well. We're going to gently start pulling our fascia outward. When you get to here, it's a good idea to have a flathead screwdriver or trim panel tool to push down on these tabs. Just like that. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You're going to have wire right over here on this side. If you take the box that your hitch came in, set your fascia on it like that. This will allow you to get down here and work with this wire. This little tab here, all you're going to do is you're going to pull up, you're going to hear it click, then you can pull this off. Now we'll set our fascia aside to start installing our hitch. First, we're going to remove this piece of foam. This will not be reinstalled. Then we need to remove the 4 bolts on this side. We're going to have 3 bolts on this side. We use a 13mm socket. To remove our bumper beam, we're going to lift. Just like that. You're going to have 7 bolts, 7 lock washers, a small flat washer, and a large flat washer. You're going to put them in that orientation right there. We're going to be putting these in the same holes that we took our existing or our factory hardware out of. Now with an extra set of hands, we got our hitch into place. We're going to put it right over our existing holes. And we'll get 1 bolt in on each side to hold our hitch into place while we install our remaining hardware. Take a 15mm socket, we'll tighten our hardware down. We want to make sure we don't over tighten it. Then we're going to torque all of our hardware to the specifications and the instructions. Before we put our fascia back in place, I'm going to go over a few things on the hitch. This is what it's going to look like when it's installed. To put your fascia on, we're going to have to remove our receiver tube. What I wanted to go over with you is when we put the fascia back on, you're not going to see anything but this receiver tube. You're not going to see this bolt. This is very important. When you take this receiver tube off to put your fascia back on, anytime you take this off and put it back on, when you're going to use it, you have to torque this bolt to the specifications and the instructions. It's very important. 24mm socket, we'll go ahead and remove the receiver. You notice the orientation that this lock washer and flat washer is in. If for some reason they come off, they need to go back on like that. Lock washer by the head of the bolt, flat washer in between the lock washer and the receiver. We'll slide our fascia back into place. We're going to start in the center and work our way out this time. Go ahead and make sure you get all of your clips popped back into place. Once you get your fascia set back in place, you can start reinstalling your taillights and all of your hardware. That'll do it for a look at an installation on the EcoHitch Stealth 2-inch trailer hitch receiver on our 2018 Volkswagen Golf GTI.